Kawoshi Member of Parliament Bowman Lusambo, or the Bulldozer, forms our editorial comment for tonight. First of all, allow us to state that Mr. Lusambo's apology to President Hakainde Hichilema is what has motivated this piece of comment, going by what has transpired so far in the political space. For starters, it is a well-known fact that Bowman Lusambo has been a die-hard MMD member with his infamous political saga of November 2014 in the Major Kachingwe issue. This was when Mr. Lusambo and his troops beat up a retired soldier in the name of Major Richard Kachingwe during the struggle for the MMD leadership. But despite the negative publicity he gained at the time, it also gave him his political relevance, which subsequently took him to Kabushi constituents to aspire as Member of Parliament. Fast forward, Mr. Lusambo later joined the former ruling party PF, which adopted to stand and won the seat in 2016, and later appointed Copperbelt Province Minister before being moved into Lusaka. We'll be quick to mention that besides his radical approach towards work as provincial minister for Lusaka then, Mr. Lusambo, using the tag of a bulldozer, became a threat to other people's human rights. The case of some Zambian artist, Kings Malembe was forced to apologize. Brian Wembia, known as B-Flow, for merely speaking on behalf of the poor Zambians who felt humiliated by the former government. Not forgetting the disgruntled phrase the bulldozer gave to others, whipping of citizens in bars at a time when the COVID-19 entered Zambia, all was as a result of what many had described as getting drunk with political leadership. Also felt that Mr. Lusambo did so in order to impress his former boss Edgar Lungu at a time, such that he later nicknamed himself as President Edgar Lungu's #1 bootlicker. The general public and we in the media did advise Mr. Lusambo at a time to humble himself, more especially that he was also a big buyer in town with a lot of donations across the country, while the general public kept on asking the source of funds. However, 9 months of being in the opposition, Mr. Lungu's #1 bootlicker, as he named himself, has come to his senses and offered an apology to President Hakainde Hichilema, which is a good thing. We are in support of Mr. Lusambo's apology to the head of state because respect is what he needs while being checked in the name of constructive criticism and not personal attacks, as it was the case with the bulldozer to Mr. Hichilema. Allow us to call on other opposition political party leaders who may have not yet accepted the man in State House is President HH, and therefore it is wise to apologize in case of any misunderstanding. We say so because it is not a secret that President HH was highly demonized for merely being a Tonga from Southern Province. We all know that every man has the conscience or sense to know what is right or wrong. Hence, Mr. Lusambo's apology to President Hakainde Hichilema is personal and should not be politicized. In Bemba, they say, "Ich kalipa chumfo mwine," meaning only Mr. Lusambo knows the pain he's gone through. Hence, his apology should not be taken for a weakness, but rather the right thing to do. But what is more important is for the bulldozer to leave, according to his apology, while maintaining his position as the voice for the voiceless by offering checks and balances to the government. As we submit in our editorial comment, allow us to call on President Hakainde Hichilema and the New Dawn government to remain strong in the fight against corruption, and if the bulldozer is one of those who store public resources, this apology should not be a passport for an acquittal, like the trend we have witnessed in the recent past, where whenever a political suspect apologizes or defects to the ruling party, they become immune to any form of prosecution. This is our editorial comment.